This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, there's only one more open registration being held for the Hazleton Area School District. We'll take a behind-the-scenes look at the process and let you know why it's so important next. Good evening and thanks for joining us at FYI. I'm Ken Kara. We start with some headlines. The trial for a man accused of murder in the city of Hazleton got underway this morning. 22-year-old Ademus Arias is accused of killing 19-year-old Angel S. Villalobos last February. The shooting happened outside of 570 West Maple Street in the city. According to prosecutors, Arias was going home with his girlfriend when he got out of his car to talk with some people. An argument broke out and then shots were fired. An autopsy says Villalobos died from 2 gunshot wounds. Another Hazleton store was robbed this morning not far from where a weekend robbery occurred, and that's not the only thing the two incidents have in common. Our media partner, the Standard Speaker, had this breaking news on their website this morning. According to the paper, the convenience store on West Juniper Street was robbed at 3:05 in the morning by a man wearing a Spider-Man mask. The suspect who robbed the C&P store on East Chestnut Street on Saturday at gunpoint was also wearing a Spider-Man mask. The two stores are only 3 blocks apart. The suspect in the convenience store robbery was a black male wearing black pants and a black t-shirt, according to police. People everywhere are mourning the loss of Robin Williams. The Marion County Sheriff's Office Coroner Division suspects the death to be a suicide due to asphyxia. Williams' unexpected death has renewed concerns for those dealing with depression. With this in mind, FYI will take a closer look at the signs of depression and information on suicide prevention later this week. Classes begin September 2nd in the Hazleton Area School District, and the registration process is still underway for incoming students. Yesterday marked one of several days set aside for open registration. I had the chance to talk with 2 officials from the district about the number of new students and the process to enroll them. The school year is almost upon us, but before you get there, you do have to register, get your kids ready, get them registered for school. And I'm joined by Dominic Pino and also Ken Briggs from the Hazleton Area School District. They're running registrations, and today we're at the Hazleton Area Career Center where registration is being held. And Ken, how has it been? Has it been busy every time you guys do this? Is it busy today?
It's very busy today. It's been busy every time, increasingly busier as we go on. We have about 56 people who have come today. We got about 30 done, so about 16 wait right now.
How long have you been working in the school district?
I've been in the school district 4.5 years.
Have you seen it grow in that time? You said growing last year, you maybe expected again this year. You just talk about how it is growing.
Our enrollment is definitely going up. We did increase last year over the year before and again the year before that. So this year, the trend looks like it's increasing again.
How important is it to be organized at registration, at everything, when you have such a big school district?
Well, the organization is always important, and patience. Patience is important. This year, Mr. Pino worked on some system changes, being flow and where the parents sit and all that. That have helped out a lot. But when it comes right down to it, the registration secretaries can only go so fast. If the parents and the guardians coming in have all their paperwork, have everything in order, that makes it go a lot faster. It helps everybody out.
You work in technology with the Hazleton Area School District. Can you imagine this process without the technology you use to pre-register in that?
No, I can't. The parents probably wish it would still be without technology because they just hand a form and walk away. But with the state reporting that's required, everything has to go into the computer. We have to report everything to the state. Everything has to be accurate. That just can't be done without technology.
They could go to the school district website, take care of all that.
The online registration, you have to go to the school district website. There is a registration tab there, and they could online register. It's actually a pre-registration. Then they come in and we go through the final portions of it where we actually look at the documents, verify immunizations, verify address, verify birth date, and take copies of it all.
And Dominic, you try to make this a pleasant experience for parents coming in, students, and just talk about the work. And you said trying to get more organized every year this happens.
Yes, we do. We try to make it as easy as we can for the parents to come through the system and work their way through. There's a lot of information that's required, and sometimes there's a waiting time for them. We try to make them as comfortable as we can and work our way as quickly and accurately to get that information in.
So We have another registration coming up for parents who are coming to it. What should they have and what should they be ready for? When is it?
Okay, yes, we do have another open registration on August the 25th. That's Monday. It'll run from probably 8:30 until 3:30 that day. And parents, to be prepared, what they should do is go to the district website and pre-register. That's important because that'll save them time. And then when they come in, be sure that they have 3 proofs of current address, 3 different proofs, proof of their child's age, whether it be a birth certificate, passport, etc., and also immunizations, proof of their immunizations. We do have nurses on staff that will be here. We have ESL representatives. Many of our different departments are here to help them as they go through the registration process.
How important is this to the school district to get the school year going? I mean, where does it go once parents leave here? What's happening on your end?
Oh, it's critical. I mean, we use the information once the students come in. We need to set up schedules for them, get them assigned to different buildings, get transportation set up. So, I mean, it's the starting point of their entire school year.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. I could see people in there waiting to register. If you can't make it on August 25th, you can set up an appointment to register. Just go to the school district's website for more information. Well, Campsite offers people from ages 8 to 21 who are dealing with vision loss a variety of learning and social experiences. Today, they learned a very important lesson. Staff from American Patient Transport Systems met with Campsite today, and they ran their program they call Hands-Only CPR, Lend a Hand, Save a Life. They taught everyone at Campsite how to do hands-only CPR and operate an automated external defibrillator. APTS Director of Marketing and Education says it was a learning experience for those at the camp and the staff of APTS as well.
Well, what we needed to do was, as far as our modifications, was just help them feel where they need to place their hands on a patient or on the mannequin today, and find the different ridges and valleys as we explain them to them, where proper placement goes on the sternum, in the middle of the chest, and how to count out loud and how to listen to the AED. So they were able to use their other senses that are heightened because of their impairment with their vision, and they really excelled.
Campsite is run by Community Services for Sight, and they really put together a fun week for everyone involved. They even got a tour of our studio this afternoon.
This is Campsite on FYI. Woo!
Very excited, do a much better job than I do. Tomorrow, everyone at Campsite is going bowling, followed by horseback riding. We will have more on hands-free CPR, by the way, on FYI in the coming days. And remember our media partner, the Standard Speaker. They are your source for breaking local news online at standardspeaker.com. You can also go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/FYI News 13, and be sure to pick up your copy of the paper every day. Coming up next on FYI, Janine has her weekly Care for Kids segment all about adoption. And after that, we'll do the weather thing, and then we'll tell you about Living History Weekend at Eckley Miners Village.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
We're in your community here on FYI, and each Tuesday we talk about adoption and foster care, and we're with Lori O'Gurkis, and she's basically the ambassador here for Lower Luzerne County and really is involved within the adoption and foster process. So thanks for joining us, Lori. I know we've been having kids on the show, but we wanted to inform people about a foundation that you recently started.
Yes, we started Brandon's Forever Home just a couple months ago, and what it really is about helping raising awareness of children who are in need, in crisis, whether from abuse, neglect, within our own community, Luzerne County.
And how can people get information about Brandon's Forever Home? What do you need from the community?
Brandon's Forever Home, typically you can find us on Facebook. We're almost to 400 likes, which really is a good thing. I'm on LinkedIn as well. We're in the process of having our webpage built, so that's coming up. I can be reached directly. We'll be putting up my phone number for the tapings, so if you need to reach me directly, it's a great initiative. It's a needed initiative. And from the community, I just need people to just spread the word. Spread the word that there are children who are in need right here. Extreme poverty, extreme neglect, We had a child in our house within the past month who didn't know his colors, didn't know his letters, and he's 6 years old. So when you see a child and can feel the impact of what neglect does to a child in need, there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and I need a lot of good people who always step up within this community to help me do it.
Okay, so it's Brandon's Forever Home, and that name was created how?
Brandon's Forever Home is in honor of our state rep, Tara Toohill. She had a brother who tragically passed away who was in foster care. And it was really in his honor to make sure that we always remember and do not forget children like Brandon, like Brandon who are in need in our community.
Okay, so you can check them out on Facebook, LinkedIn, or the number at the bottom of your screen. Next week, we're going to focus here on Tuesday. We're going to talk about how you can get involved with, you have those extra toys at home or clothes that you need to give away. Maybe your child has grown and you're looking to give away toys. Well, we have an initiative for you right here on FYI.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
Yeah, that's a puddle. I shot a puddle today for a weather shot. No, I haven't mailed it in. It's just how I feel today. It's artsy. Or maybe not. Let's go to the weather regardless. Here's the forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, occasional rain and a possible thunderstorm. And some of those storms could produce heavy rainfall, 100% chance of precipitation. And it is possible that we can get between 1 and 2 inches of rainfall. Now Wednesday, scattered showers and thunderstorms before 3 p.m. That's a 30% chance. The high is 74. Wednesday night looks clear with a low of 53. Thursday looks like a very nice day. Sunny, high of 70. Thursday night we'll get down to 47. Friday, how about that? Friday night, let's go right to that. Another low of 47. Saturday, 74, and a more reasonable low of 55 degrees.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Valley High, the area's oldest ice cream and fast food restaurant. Stop on in for a cold treat including our ice cream and yogurt, or some hot food including our burgers, hot dogs, fries, and much more. That's Valley High, Route 93 in West Hazelton. Treat yourself today.
It's Living History Weekend coming up at Eckley Miners Village as they get ready for a Civil War weekend. And I'm joined now by Kristen Bogash, the Summer Events Coordinator, and Bodie Morin, who is the Site Administrator at Eckley. And we've been joined, you guys have graced us with your presence a few times this summer. Eckley had some great events going on. This is another one. The cool thing about Eckley is you can take a step back in time. And this weekend, there's a lot of events going on. When you hear Civil War, you may think reenactments. That will be happening, but there's so much more going on at Eckley than just the reenactment.
Yeah, for this weekend, we'll be visiting the 1860s. We'll have all of our Union and Confederate soldiers camping out throughout the village. On Saturday, we will have a Mifflin Guard fashion show, and that'll be at 11 a.m., followed by a tea from 12 until 3 p.m. at the Sharp House, which is our mine owner's home in the village. In addition to that, we will be having a battle reenactment daily at 1 p.m. and music throughout the entire weekend as well. We have solo performers performing throughout the village. We'll have Kent Courtney joining us again. We'll have Dave Matsinko. He's a wonderful musician, and he's one of our volunteers. We'll have Lex Romaine, who's a guitarist, as well as Paul Riffin, the fiddler. We'll also be joined by Jill Keener, who will be playing the organ in the Episcopal Church throughout the day.
So an amazing weekend, something for everybody. And what I noticed, Bodie, was really, I looked at the pictures on Facebook, and they're powerful enough. I saw a soldier's funeral, maybe coming home to his wife, very emotional. That's strong stuff just from photos. To actually go and see it, I could imagine is even better. Can you talk about what's happening this year, and maybe some of the stuff you guys did in the past like that?
Sure. Well, this is an important weekend for us. We don't really think about Eckley generally, or this region, as having an impact in the Civil War, but it was very important. Anthracite coal was a key component to the war effort. In fact, it was Erickson who developed the Monitor Merrimack fame that specified Buck Mountain coal to be fired in its boiler. So we have an important role to play. We had an important role to play in the Civil War, and we had a unit that came out of Eckley. So it's important to remember that even though we don't think of Eckley as a war or a military park, that we did have an impact and influence during the Civil War. And so in our program, we try to reflect this sort of dual history from this time period in the late 18s or the early 1860s. So in the past, we've done plays that have sort of reflected some of the episodes during the Civil War. There have been plays that have talked about minors that have tried to, recent immigrant minors that have tried to avoid conscription and being forced to fight, and the effects of military police that would come and search for them. We've also done a funeral of a soldier and his body being returned back to his family at Eckley. And then this year we're going to have two plays. One of them is going to be a mine disaster, which is more reflective of the period of just mining when we have intensive mining to support a war effort. And we'll also do a wedding play as well to kind of talk about some of the social aspects that went on in the village during that time.
So we get a whole feel, joyful, sorrow, everything of what life was like and still is like today. Kristen, you're in the Eckley Players, right? Or are you still a part of it?
I used to be an Eckley player.
Okay, so you used to do this and get involved with the plays and that. What is it like when you do take part? Is it easily to get swept up? I mean, like I said, Eckley is such a real backdrop for a lot of this.
You're totally involved. You're not in the modern era anymore. Everyone that's participating in the reenactment will be in costume. So it's very easy for you to step back in time and feel the emotions that other people have felt. I know a few years ago I played the widow of one of the miners that was killed in battle, and I actually started crying during it. It was really difficult to go through because you imagine exactly what people during that time went through. And having a photo, I actually had a photo of my husband that was killed, and it's very, very emotional just to think about what people were going through.
Will be another exciting weekend at Eckley. Now here's a look at your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers. The Daily 913, the Big 4 0994, Quinto 90214, and Treasure Hunt 6, 9, 16, 24, and 25. When we come back, we'll head back to the Great Pottsville Cruise.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
Yesterday during the news portion of FYI, we showed you a man and his DeLorean from the Great Pottsville Cruise. Well, I also met a husband and wife there who had a very impressive car and who are both involved in racing. Here's some of their story.
And eventually here on SSPTV are going to see an hour-long special on the Great Pottsville Car Cruise. Well, I met these two at the Great Pottsville Car Cruise. We have a former motorcycle, used to race motorcycles, you can think of the term there, and you drag race right now. This is Melissa and Denny Ongst, and their car, 1965 Mustang, finished top 5 best show here at Pottsville. Eventually planning on racing this car, you said?
Correct. I want to drag race this car, and my husband wants to autocross the car.
So how do you settle this?
I let her drag race it when she wants to, and when it's free, I'll take it to an autocross it, usually down at the Hershey Giant Center. They have stuff like that.
This car is so nice, so impressive. How do you even think about taking it out there, drag racing it? I mean, but you said that's what it's really meant for.
Yes, that's what I really want to do with it. So it's built for it. It has the custom suspension work on it, and the motor for it. So. How'd
you get into drag racing?
It was actually my husband through his car club, and I just took to it like, it was awesome.
Tell me about drag racing. Take me through your first time doing it. What was it like?
Well, the first time I was actually with him in the car. Then he set me loose in his other car, and he said I actually did better than he did with it. So.
You guys married, so how does she do when she's dragging out there?
Better than me. I gave up drag racing. I left her do the drag racing now. She has better reaction times and actually enjoys it a little more than me.
Talk about motorcycle racing. What was that like? And, just take me through, how'd you get into that?
Very hectic. I always enjoyed riding motorcycles when I was a child. When I turned 18, I decided to hit the racing circuit. Always wanted to try it. Took it up for about 8 years, wound up on the pro circuit running the Grand National dirt tracks and motocross. Just placed well and enjoyed it.
Where do you drag race?
Beaver Springs Dragway.
Where's that at?
Beaver Springs, PA. Yep.
Right in the name.
Yep.
All right, well, you can see more of Denny and Melissa on that special on SSPTV, all about the Great Pottsville Car Cruise.
Denny currently works with a race team at Big Diamond Speedway. It's the Whitmer Dirt Sports number 64 team. They have 2 feature wins this season, and they lead the points race in the sportsman division. This picture is from their latest victory on August 8th. Denny says after 23 years away from the dirt track, he will be racing the dirt car next season. And yes, he will be autocrossing the Mustang you just saw. That's sports for tonight, but don't go anywhere. There's more FYI ahead. Happy Wing Night! It's Wing Night at Bottlenecks. Get $2 off your order of wings or all-you-can-eat wings and boneless wings for only $14.95. Bottlenecks wings are voted best wings in the area year after year.
News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Joseph P. Procopa of McAdoo. Funeral is Thursday at 9:30 a.m. from the Damiano Funeral Home. Friends may call Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Cameron E. Reese of Weatherly. Private services will be held from the Philip J. Jeffries Funeral Home. And Robert Lee Lucas, formerly of Freeland. No local services were announced. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazleton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111.
I'm the FunFest Public Relations Coordinator, and today we're going to be talking about the FunFest Arts, Crafts, and Home Party Show. This year we have expanded our craft show area a little bit to include some more possibilities for people who might be interested in participating. Our craft show again is once again sponsored by Citizens Publishing, who's been our sponsor for a number of years. This year we've expanded the show to include people who do home parties, direct sales, that type of thing. For instance, Pink Papaya, Silpata, Tupperware, Pampered Chef, 31 Gifts, that type of thing. And we've also opened the craft show area up to the nonprofit organizations who are not selling food, who maybe just want to hand out information for their group, who want to sell chances on turkey trays, that type of thing. So anything that's a non-food item would be welcome in the craft show area. So we're hoping that that will expand the area and allow it to grow a little. Again, the area for the craft show will be in the Markle parking lot, as it has been last year. A great location for it. We've moved it more centrally located right downtown, so it's in the center of all the action. There are still applications available. You can access them on our website. There is a fee for each day, $60 for Saturday or Sunday. If you come for both days, there's a reduced rate of $100. In addition, on our website, we've also got the regular forms for our food vendors, for the parade, and for other nonprofit vendors for food booths on the street.
Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Carmen Perfetta of Claire's. Carmen, if you're watching, give us a call right now, 570-459-9813 to win your free movie.
I will be uploading our 2014 Penn State football preview to facebook.com/FYI News 13, so look out for that. I'm out of scripts for now. We'll be back tomorrow. Take it easy, everyone.